I wasn't going to watch the show. I already lost my love for Star Wars with the sequels, but I still kept on some hope for it to get better. And what changed my mind was two things. One, the amount of red flags I kept seeing, the amount of YouTubers and articles just absolutely drenched in what the fuck. I kept seeing it and I was kinda getting curious. Also, my friend. See, he's the type of person to see the good in anything. He even likes both of the Aquaman movies. So when he told me that this show was shit, I couldn't help myself. I have to see how bad it is. So buckle down and let's get started. So we start off episode 1 with this mysterious person in the hood looking for a Jedi. And I have to point this out. She asks the child where the Jedi is. And the Jedi's not really hiding. She's just chilling in a bar. You could literally walk into the bar, look to the left, and be like, oh, hey, look, there she is. But for the most part, I think this first scene is fine. The one good quality of this show that it has is the fighting is consistently good. They did improve the fight scenes a lot from the sequel movies and other shows that have been coming out with lightsaber fights. So here you go. Gold star. You did it. The assassin kills the Jedi with her tiny knife and flees the scene. After that, we meet Osha, and personally, the second worst character of the show. I will explain my reasonings in time. She left the Jedi Order and became a space mechanic. So the Jedi showed up, and a guy named Yord comes to arrest Osha. And honestly, to this point now, I thought his name was Ford. So all the jokes I made him are now useless.
You ever been beaten by a wet spaghetti noodle by your girlfriend because she has a twin sister and you got confused and fucked her dad? Well, that's how it feels to drive a Ford F-250.
They come to arrest Osha because they have a witness saying she did it. Now, I have some issues with this. One, they say the Jedi death happened 1 day ago. How did Osha get on the ship, go to said planet to kill the Jedi, got back to the ship with no one seeing her or any camera? Yeah, okay. But not only when they do arrest her, she gets put in with regular criminals and robots guarding. I'm sorry. What? This lady is super dangerous. She killed a Jedi and they treated her like a normal criminal. Excuse me? Anyway, a prison riot happens and the ship crashes. Now, go to the other main character, Sol. He is the best character in the story, hands down. His acting's down, he has a stake in the plot. His chemistry with other actors is great, and honestly, the writing for him was mostly good. Keyword, mostly. Osha dreams seeing her twin sister alive. The Jedi get to the crash ship, and Osha tells her former master that May is alive. So the first episode could be better, but honestly, I would say episode 1 through 6 are not that bad, or good by any means, honestly. I only really got upset with the last 2 episodes. So episode 2 starts, once again shows May ready to kill another Jedi. She infiltrates the compound and tries to kill him. But he's kind of like protected with this like force bubble, and she can't hurt him. I actually really like this power, it's kind of cool. She fails and has to fall back. That alerts Osha and Sol to her location. May goes to her super unimportant friend to ask for help for killing the Jedi. During the episode, it shows that Osha has not gone over what happened with her family, and it's one of the reasons why she left the Jedi. May returns to kill the Jedi and tells him that she can give him peace. He takes the poison and apologizes to May for what he did. They ambush May when she tries to go back to the non-important guy. Things get out of control and May escapes. Episode 2 is fine. It's just nothing great, nothing bad. Episode 3 is interesting when you watch it for the first time. So this is a flashback episode where you get to see how May and Osha grew up. And I want to start my hate rant now. I fucking hate May as a character. She is a terrible person. All she does is play the victim. We see her be awful towards her sister, starting a fire, is willing to kill innocent people to get to her goal, and erase Pip, the robot companion that Osha loves. And I'm supposed to feel bad for her? This is not how you write a sympathetic villain. We don't see a single good side to her. All we see is a sociopath who doesn't understand boundaries.
Get fucked, pile of shit!
We get to see how the witches live and how they teach the girls to use their powers, the weave. But honestly, it just sounds like the Force with extra steps. The Jedi show up. Osha wants to become a Jedi, but May doesn't want her, so she starts a fire. Soul saves Osha. Now, I'm not going to discuss all the problems with this episode yet. I will do that when we get to episode 7, so it doesn't seem like I have to repeat myself. Episode 4 is an episode. You know, in anime, there's always the beach filler episode where you just hang out and talk about the main plot. Yeah, this is this episode. The only big thing that you need to know is that the May and Ezra Miller from Wish are going after another Jedi Master. Osha and Soul are gonna try to stop them. Oh, and May wants to give herself up because she saw Osha again, which is fine, I guess? Then they get ambushed by a mysterious Sith at the end of the episode. What a strange way to end this. Episode 5 is so dumb. So it starts with a very action-packed scene. You know, I already said the action is the best thing about this show, but then it just gets hilariously dumb so fast. So Ford Ranger gets injured. Soul tells him to take Osha back to the ship, and while this is happening, May and Soul's Padawan Jackie are fighting. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Soul has a new Padawan. She doesn't need to be here. She tells one joke, talks to Osha for like 2 minutes, and then she just there, exists. But I guess, hey, new Padawan, yay. So the Sith guy is angry at May for betraying him and not killing the Jedi. Jackie gets attacked by him and she lives for so long. I see this dude destroy everyone that was there. And Yord, who is a Jedi Knight, gets bodied in 5 seconds. And she's doing the best out of everyone. She does die eventually, but she's still not even an adult. Not even a full trained Jedi. Lived for so long while the others got fucking annihilated. So the Sith dude's helmet gets damaged and we get to see his face. Is that Ezra Miller?
I'm not transgender, non-binary. I don't want to be searched by a man.
Was anyone surprised at this revelation? I didn't call it when I was watching it, but when I saw it, it just made me go, oh, okay, I guess. That makes sense. Also, maybe it's just me, but the entire time he talks, it just sounds like a 6th grader complaining about getting bullied in school. He keeps bringing up how the Jedi won't allow him to exist, or they just want freedom and he's not a bad guy. Yeah, you're not a bad guy. I'll just ignore all the people you murdered in the first 10 minutes of the episode. Even then, you could have escaped and ran away before the Jedi got there. May never saw your face. You could have just dipped and the Jedi probably wouldn't have found you. Also, you're the one who trained May to go after the Jedi. Did you think they would just not retaliate and leave you alone? Oh, and while this is happening, Ford Mustang gets murdered by him.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows, only...
They get away from him. Osha and May confront each other, and May pulls a Star Wars meme.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
And cuts off her hair to trick Soul into thinking that's Osha. Emo Ren finds Osha and kidnaps her. This was so fucking stupid. Episode 6 is weirdly gross for some reason. So we start with May and Soul, and she has a chance to attack Soul right now because he is distracted and is not paying attention. But for some reason, she doesn't do it. Hell, she gets multiple chances to do it, but doesn't. And we never get an explanation why she doesn't kill him. Also, this is the episode where she murders Pip, the droid. And yes, I say murder because she erases his memories so he won't remember Osha. Soul does figure out that it is May at the end of the episode, so I don't even know why they did this. We didn't get any cool scenes with them playing this like game. We just got him, he just figures out at the end and says, oh, you're not Osha. We cut back to Osha falling to the Sith dude for a bit to some water. He's gonna take a bath, and while he's doing that, she grabs his lightsaber so she has the advantage. He knows this and starts playing mind games with her. But what's absolutely absurd about this scene is that his cock and balls are just flapping in the wind.
He's pulling his cock out!
She doesn't kill them. They go back inside. Osha says, you know, you killed my friends and, you know, I miss them and why did you do that? And my man's just emotionally gaslighting her. And I feel like I'm not watching Star Wars anymore. I'm just watching a guy abuse his girlfriend and try to justify murdering her friends. There's such a weird sexual moment in this episode. I feel like I'm not even watching anything. I feel like the meme when it's like I downloaded the wrong Star Wars. It ends with her putting his helmet on for some fucking reason. I guess to find May? I don't know. This episode was just strange. So we are, possibly the worst episode of the show. Now, it might not seem like it, but I didn't hate this show up until this point. It was pretty bad, but I enjoyed laughing at the amount of dumb shit in this show. Episode 7 is a flashback episode. The same flashback from episode 3, but from the Jedi's perspective. And I'm just going to combine them into one. The witches want to do a ritual with Osha and May, but we keep seeing that Osha doesn't want to be a witch. She wants to explore the galaxy. She's also a lot more kinder than May is. The witch keep telling her that it is her destiny and that she doesn't know what she wants. She is just a child. Being honestly really fucking controlling and almost abusive towards Osha. So before the ritual can happen, the Jedi show up. While I would say I'm a goddamn American, I would say they are just trespassing on their land. They do come peacefully and not forcing the witches to do anything. And guess what the witches do? They enter the mind of a Padawan who just wants to go home and then made his want into an obsession. Not only that, they threaten to kill that same Padawan if the Jedi don't leave and only Osha gets her mother to stop. So Osha wants to become a Jedi so she can see the world, but once again her mother's like, no, you dumb child, you don't have any rights, I'm your mother. And May mirrors her mother into bullying Osha so she won't leave. The witches tell the girls to fail the test on purpose, but Osha doesn't listen and passes the test. The Jedi also learn that the ritual is a sacrifice and not just a coming of age thing type of deal, but we do later find out that was a loss of translation. May thought it was a sacrifice and they assumed that they're going to kill the girls, but honestly it was kind of just a coming of age type of deal. Then the big plot twist is revealed. May and Osha are not twins, they are the same person split in two. When the Jedi learn this, the Padawan seizes an opportunity to go home, so he takes out the speeder to get the girls. Now, I will have to bring up, this Padawan has been on this planet for 7 weeks. You're telling me he broke in 7 weeks, filled with his other friends, and he just wants to go back home? Are you kidding me? This guy shouldn't even made it past Padawan. He had to be there for 7 weeks, and he already wants to go home. What the hell? Now, the girl's mom suddenly shifts to her point of view and says, you know what, Osha? I want you to be a Jedi. Go. But May throws a temper tantrum about it and gets told by the second-in-command witch to stop Osha from leaving. So May traps Osha in a room and starts a fire. And it does not matter if it was an accident. She still did it, she still should feel guilty, and she still has some blame for what happened to her family. But of course, the show doesn't do that and says, nah, she's a victim. So when Saul and the other guys show up, it literally looks like they are holding them hostage and will rather kill them than let them leave. They are in the courtyard, ready to fight them. May runs her dumbass self in the middle of it, and her mother transforms into a black ghost demon thing. So Saul thinks she's going to hurt May and kill her, so he stabs the mother, but then she goes, oh, you done goof, I was letting Osha leave. You're the bad guy. I'm sorry, I was the good mother. I wanted to just love my children. I'm sorry, but wait. The witches have been nothing but aggressive towards the Jedi. They're not blameless. I wouldn't call the Jedi like the innocent party, but you can't say they're the victims when they've also started the escalations. They've been just as bad as the Jedi. They are not victims. They practically committed suicide on how fucking dumb they are. So might have made a mistake with how rash he was with the situation, but I can't blame him thinking that these bitches are crazy. Who wouldn't think this and saw this? God, this show just fucking sucks. I'm so angry.
This is fucking bullshit. Okay? These fucking assholes, these fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man?
So here we are, the final episode. Was it worth it? Was my pain and suffering going to give me a somewhat of a satisfying conclusion?
No.
That's what I thought. This finale is a wet-ass fart in the middle of a family dinner. Just disappointing. So Osha and Kylo Miller are going back to her home because May and Osha had a forced Skype call about it. Saul contacts the Jedi to prove that there was a Virgins, a huge power force given to a planet that was a dead planet, and gave life to Osha and May. May plays the victim card again and uses the droid she memorized to break out of her cuffs and get to an escape ship. Soul chases her until Basil sabotages his own ship. Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot Basil was here. He was the tracker to find the Wookiee Jedi in episode 4, and for some reason portrays Soul for, I don't know, maybe he was feeling some sort of way.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
All the characters are where it all started at the beginning of the tragedy. Osha and May talk. Osha keeps rightfully blaming her sister for what happened, so May just emotionally gaslights her, saying that she is wrong, the Jedi did it, and she did nothing wrong. Osha, for some reason, believes her. Soul and Ezra Reen are fighting, and this one particularly looks shitty for some reason. May appears and gets Soul to confess what he did so Osha can hear it, which Osha kills Soul because she blames him for her family's deaths, and then she's mad that he lied to her, and it's played up like this big emotional moment. I feel nothing. I hate these characters. These 3 main characters that we got, I hate them. They are the most unlikable, terrible people in the world. Soul was the only one I liked, and they killed him. Hashtag justice for Soul. The Jedi came. Osha and May say they cringe at "Woe with me together" line. So emo Sith erases May, so the Jedi can't find them because Osha is going to be his apprentice, which payback's a bitch, isn't it, May? And Jedi blame everything that happened on Soul to cover their asses, even though they basically did nothing wrong. Oh, and also Darth Plagueis is here because, well, why not?
What the You want penis enlargement pills?
The Acolyte is just really fucking bad. If you hate this show because they have gay actors or witches for being women, you need to step on some Legos. This just sucks. It's not just only men hating it. This is not just only bigots who don't like gay people existing. This is terribly written, terribly directed, and the fact that the director and the media are saying this is the first time they are judgmental towards the Jedi are just plain out flat wrong. There are so many games, comics, and characters in shows and movies that fans love that criticize and stand against the Jedi and call them out for the terrible things they have done. They have pointed out how fucking wrong the Jedi Code is. We got Revan. He literally the one person who went to war to save trillions of lives because the Jedi were going to sit on their feet and do nothing. Kreia, in the Knights of the Old Republic, all she does is point out how dumb the Jedi are and how subscribing to both the dark side and the light side radically is stupid. We have Darth Maul, who only wanted to defend his people and defend his empire, and he even called out the Sith for being backstabbing betrayers. We have Ahsoka, who left the Jedi and has refused to call herself a Jedi because she disagreed with the ideals. We have Ventress, who does the same shit but also leaves the Sith because of the same reasons. We have Luke, who also criticized the Jedi in The Last Jedi, and in the comics of Legends, he changes rules because the Jedi were so stringent. And how fucking Anakin's story in the prequels was literally showing us how the Jedi could be flawed and how they were wrong. Just because you forgot about these characters doesn't mean I did, Disney. This could have been really good. If actually with a good director and writer, but instead they got greedy and stopped caring and just wanted to influence their own political shit into it. I would give this show a 2 out of 10. And that is all it's getting out for me. I don't want a second season. Everyone keeps saying we need a second season to finish this. I don't. Please don't give me a second season. Subscribe and like and all that fucking fan jazz.